Welcome back, disc golf fans, to the Back Nine coverage of Round 2 of the 2021 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championships, presented by Grip 6. This commentary is sponsored by Bria Disc Golf this week. Check them out. My name is Brian Earhart, joined here by my co-host Nate Perkins, and I have so much fun commentating the Fort.
At this point, Brian, I've got my coffee, and I'm just happy to be the first person to even watch this footage. This is the chase card for the world title. The Fort is so exciting to watch.
Yeah, we have some decent play from our card. Gregg Barsby actually playing super clean, a 3-under through the front nine. We know from previous events here what the hot scores are going to be. Double digits is possible, but 7, 8, 9 range is what the hot rounds are usually out here. So we have some players on pace. The back nine is tough, though. You have to earn every stroke. Hole 10 is a 598-foot hole with this beautiful Flight Factory drone flyover. Check them out at flightfactorydisc.com. Triple Mando hole throw as far as you can off to the right side. A lot of the longest drives have been getting a forward flare off this path, so throwing low actually will increase that distance.
Yeah, you need 425 off this tee to really give yourself the comfortable angle to throw through the mandatory. That's right at the short end of the range.
Yeah, and you'll see, I think, like you said, James is going Photon, I believe, which, again, is a control driver. So you're going to probably see James try to just push the disc as forward as he can so you can get that downward forward flare rather than hyzering left. You want to be more right to attack this triple Mando. Uh-oh. That's got to turn.
Yes.
There it goes.
That close to the ceiling as possible. You do want to crack this one over and be right, as you said. Look at the rollout, too. There is a creek on the right side that plays as OB, so you can't just smack it on too much ante. You have to control the flight.
And Dallin's is very solid height-wise because it gets the skip. That's exactly what you're looking for. He is way up the fairway.
On all hyzer and really low, too.
Yeah, Dallin is every bit of 6'2", 6'3". He is a big athlete. We actually have a very tall card today, with Barsby being the shortest. Thomas puts a really good move on this hyzer flip. This is also going to get that forward flare.
You know, you said something about Thomas that I hadn't really noticed before. It really is silent coming out of his hand. All I can hear is the scuffling of his shoes on the tee pad.
Yeah, there's no drag as Barsby hits this triple Mando. Most of the snapping sound you hear when a disc comes out of someone's hand is drag. That is their fingers clapping against their palm. But it's bizarre that Thomas has no variant of that. James has parked the triple Mando. That's going to be a birdie. Look how close Thomas is. He almost can jump putt from here if he wanted to. And you can just tell he's been working on so many elements of his game. He has developed his skill set to consistently compete at the top level.
Touchy little forehand from Dallin. Impressive.
All of our players are through the Mando. Gregg for birdie. Yikes. He felt that one.
I love the way that Thomas kind of dips that left shoulder when he starts to pull that putter over to that left side.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal for spin putters, especially to make sure that the bigger motion is controlled with the bigger muscles rather than just the hand, because it's a very easy thing to feel is just by using your hand to move the disc rather than the rest of your body. And there's a birdie for him. It's a good comeback after that nasty spit out on the previous hole. James with a tap in birdie. We have a tight race right now with our card. 2 11 downs, 2 10 downs, moving into number 11. Nate, what do you think about this one?
This one is so difficult. 485 and so many trees in the way. It forces the right-hand backhand to crack one over 50 feet in the air above the trees on the right and then flex it around the backside of this green. We saw at the Utah Open only a couple birdies throughout the whole tournament. James being one of those birdies with this exact disc, this Photon.
Long drift.
Might have been enough turn to get around the backside of those trees.
He does get up there, but those skinny trees might be limiting the shot he has at it. Let's see what Dallin has.
Yeah, you really want to access this green from the right side.
Another solid shot.
Yeah.
But again, not much of a look at the basket from that left side. You really have to turn it a lot more than you think.
Oh, yeah, Thomas really getting that one turned over.
And he's off to the races. He really wants to see where that one finishes.
It's pretty dense on that right side. If you turn it over too much, it can be dangerous.
Gregg has smoked this shot.
No
No way!
What a shot from Barsby. Circle one.
And we have gotten word that
it's
Thomas lost his disc. They were not able to find it after the 3-minute timer.
This is worst case scenario. He's throwing 3 now from the tee pad.
It is one of the most dreaded feelings in all of disc golf, especially on a hole with a spotter.
Yeah, and you've got a gallery for days. You've got cameramen. That is, the panic sets in when you start looking for your disc when a time gets called, because it's up to the players. You look for a little bit, and then the player has to say, hey, Thomas, we've got to start a clock here. You start panicking. You start looking through the leaves. Wow.
He has some adversity stacked up against him right now. He has to fight back. Oh, James. This would be huge for Thomas. And really just not much of a line to the basket. That is going to be a 5.
His second double bogey in 3 holes. No.
And that was for the birdie after probably the best drive I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah, that's about as close as you could get.
I believe that was a boss that he threw. What a shot.
Factory died.
And another double for Thomas. That checkerboard for the last 4 holes is just devastating. Still taking 2 bogey strokes despite 2 really awesome birdies. Couple of pars, we'll move into number 12. Hole number 12, another one of those old school par 4s, 510 feet, but it is so tricky. You can go putter, you can go driver, chip shot, or you might have to go trick shot on your second shot. You never know with how many skinny trees there are in this hole. You just have to put the first one in play with some sort of hyzer flip to flat that pushes a little bit left. You'll see here.
James's reactor.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a straight neutral mid-range. There's
too much.
OB fence all down that right side. So if you throw it too high and you kick, there's a risk of not being in a pretty spot.
Dallin speeding it up here.
You know, that's one of the schools of thought. There are so many trees in this fairway that you might as well throw it as hard as you can, and if you miss everything, you might have an eagle look. We actually saw Haley King go long deep, OB, or barely, actually almost OB from the FPO tee pad.
Really?
Yes, so there is an option to get all the way to the basket. Gregg with the hyzer flip. That's what you're looking for.
Oh, past
Yes.
the dead tree. That is
Prime.
so good.
It's about as prime as you can get. That dead tree is hard to miss.
I also think that's the Roadrunner that he's been ripping on. And Thomas blasted that shot. FX2 screamer.
High turnover flick. Advance the fairway a decent ways. I don't think he's going to have a birdie look, but he will be able to get up and down for a par, I believe.
Here we go, Thumber.
Wow. Not bad.
It's a scary shot with that OB fence on the right. James way out of position here on this right side.
Or is he? If you want a player to sell you putters, you sign James Conrad. Just making the Envy look like the best disc out there right now. Gregg puts the Rhino. He actually will probably get a meter off that fence. He'll be right there for a birdie.
Yeah, Gregg, another textbook play.
A3.
Didn't go under it, did it?
I don't know if there's even an option to. I think he just is hiding under the tarp. Did give us a scare for a second, though. Okay. 30 feet.
We're getting a good look at how guarded this pin is. So many tiny trees.
This would be an amazing birdie for James. Just low. Kind of a scary one to run with the water right behind it.
Yeah, it's only 20 feet deep, would you say?
Yeah, not far past. Yes. It's a fantastic putt for Dallin. That's going to be a par for him. You got to love hitting a 35-footer for par. It's got to feel good. Thomas for par as well.
Nice, Thomas.
Getting his meter relief off the fence. Gregg is not taking any shot for granted right now.
No, he's not.
You know,
He's yet to bogey.
when you taste that world championship and you know what it feels like coming down the stretch, I have a feeling that that's all he's thinking about right now, is just tasting that again. Every player that said it coming down the stretch at Worlds is the best feeling that they've ever had playing this game. Number 13. Interesting little hole, Nate.
Yes, it is. It is a true curveball of a par 3. Elevated pin. We've got an OB creek, just 15 feet right of the basket, and you proceed to a death putt drop zone.
Over the top flex sidearm. Gregg has thrown a decent shot.
He's inside the circle. He's got a little bit of a scary putt with the elevated bucket.
I like this shot from James. This is the one that I feel like is the most obvious, clear shot, is the high stall shot.
Yeah, he was struggling with this hole in practice. We practiced it a number of times, and then he finally looked high at this stall.
Yeah, it's almost like a backspin shot. You can play it deep of the basket, but if you throw it high enough with enough anhyzer, the nose angle and the wing angle kind of cancel each other out, and it just falls straight down. Dallin going high flex sidearm as well, and he's right there, right putting for birdie from about 20 feet.
That's a beautiful shot with this Firebird.
Thomas looking high as well.
Hold that Annie. Slow down. That's scary.
No!
So close to perfect.
Wow.
And look, he doesn't want anything to do with the drop zone. You can see he's just deflated right now, Brian.
He's been, it just seems like any mistake he makes gets punished double, and it's just what happens out here. We've seen it happen to so many players at the fort.
And look at this. The OB is right behind this basket.
Yes, James! That is a world champion caliber putt. James is making a run here.
That's unfortunate to be that obstructed from circle one.
Dallin gets himself a birdie as well. He is keeping pace.
Yeah, there's not a ton of separation amongst this card. Outside of Thomas's bogeys. He's kind of falling back, but Gregg at 12, James at 12, Dallin at 11.
Let's actually take a quick jump back to our lead card check-in with Jomez. Let's take a look and see what they did here. Kevin Jones. Oh,
He's getting
okay.
height. That's a couple holes ahead on hole 15.
Nice one, Kev. Putt.
Rick gives it up to him.
You gotta love just that trajectory that he throws his putts with. So direct.
And he knew it too. Look at the fist pump mid-flight.
Best word to describe the T-Bird 3 is consistent. Straight, just slightly stable. That's exactly what I get every time. Grabbing the disc and knowing it's going to be consistent. That thought popping into my head when I'm lining up that straight shot, that's the confidence booster. That's all positive reinforcement. This is the disc that I reach for, and if you want that consistent straight finish, grab the T-Bird 3.
Hole number 14, 652 feet. Very touchy landing zone. To get where the drone was flying, you cannot throw an overstable disc. You have to throw a fast disc and push as far forward as you can. This photon is the disc for the shot.
Yeah, it's low ceiling off the tee, and you do have an out-of-bounds creek on the right.
Perfect shot from James. He's going to have a look, a couple different gaps to get across the OB creek.
And this is another one, Brian, where the landing zone is, again, maybe 20 by 20.
Yep. Down swings one right. That's got to keep coming left, though. Ooh, caught up, and that is not a good reaction. He might be at the bottom near the water. Probably going to have to waste a shot just pitching out. Nice and easy. Big flare skip.
And slow down. You want to be left, but you don't want to be too far left, or you pinch your angle.
I think he's going to have a look from there. I think, like you said, he's just about as far left as you should be. Get left.
Oh, no.
Wow, and
So
another
close.
reaction, just fighting against the roll bounce, going right. Very counterintuitive for the way it was spinning. This is not fun. That's got to just sit down. Please do not put him behind a tree, and he unfortunately might be. We will see where he's at. James getting to go for the birdie.
He's going entropy.
That is an overstable putter. Wow. The basket is so far left, Nate.
It's really far left, and that back wall comes at you quick. James was in nearly the perfect spot to throw that hyzer.
Dallin's third shot is deep. Let's see if Barsby has an angle.
Yeah, much sharper than James's.
I like it.
Oh, and it filters through the back. That's
Putting
a
for
fortunate
birdie,
break
25
right there.
feet. Blessed. Oh. That is high. He's across. I don't know if he has a nice look for the save. Okay. Almost saves the
Pretty
par
good.
from
Big
there.
for par, yeah. And this for par. He might be up to putt again. I think he is.
From the knee.
For bogey. The fort really showing its teeth here. I hate to watch this.
That is a sick birdie from Gregg Barsby. Looking up to the disc golf
sigh
gods.
of relief right there. Getting that nose down and in the heart. But like you said, not overlooking any stroke here in the
No.
second round.
And that is a mature way of looking at these major championships. And again, that comes from somebody that has performed well consistently at World Championships. And has been doing this for a long, long time, folks. Number 15, V-tree gap to hit. Nate, this ceiling is very low, though.
Yeah, it's low, and then you have this log at 45, which prevents you from just sliding it on up, and the basket is slightly elevated.
Yes, you have to somehow float a low ceiling shot to the basket, which is very challenging.
Is that a pterodactyl on the sign right there? What's that? Envy from James, and just pures it right over the top of that
Envy
log.
at the low ceiling, that is insanely precise. Most of the players I'm seeing here are down-tempoing on a driver just to have enough forward momentum to get over that log. Otherwise, you're 50, 60 feet from the basket.
Yeah, I kind of challenged James on that shot in practice, questioning him why he would throw the putter with the low ceiling, and he said that he likes to throw a disc harder when it's a tight gap and a low ceiling like that. He knows that he has to press the high end of that ceiling, but he feels more confident ripping the disc.
And speaking of rip, Barsby throws a beautiful drive. Almost puts it as close as James.
We saw this hyzer at the Utah Open. It's there, but it is a difficult and high
Oh my
shot.
gosh. Not terrible. He will have an opportunity, but it's not going to be easy. And look at this line from
That
Thomas.
is so pure. It's going to hit the base.
That's his...
Oh, it just scoots by the base.
Wow.
Where are they getting these Mario dyed discs from?
I guess wherever Dickerson's getting his.
Yeah.
And Dallin's going to lay up for the 3. Gregg from about circle's edge. Taking his time. Yes!
Oh, what? That is just so beautiful to watch.
And again, the trajectory of his putt, how high and nose down it is indicative of the baskets he used to play on. They used to not be able to catch putts as hard as Thomas's back when they were playing on Mach 3s and Mach 2s. Just showing the skill. And James with another birdie, 3 in a row for James. Putting together a solid round right alongside Barsby.
It is really hard to string them together out here. Thomas connecting after going long with that mid-range.
And Dallin taps into par. We're going to move into the Island 16.
When the PDGA National Tour rolls into town, the action is intense and the competition fire. But every inferno, no matter the size, must begin as a spark. With PDGA sanctioned leagues and tournaments, anyone can get in the game. Fuel your fire. Find an event near you at pdga.com.
Nate.
Hole 16 is one of the signature holes in the western United States. 320 feet. You're looking straight at the mountain range.
And James is going entropy.
He's laying up a hyzer.
I'm guessing he's going to stall it. Yeah, he's going stall over the tree.
Look how flat that is.
It's got to crash. No way.
No!
Nate!
No chains required. That's an ace from Conrad.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Exactly how you play the shot. And
Got the
even if
chills.
he missed the basket, Nate, he would have been inside circle 1. An absolutely perfect shot.
James is a living legend. No chains. It tried to come out. It looked like it tried to come out and then like hit the back wall of the basket, kept it in. I can't believe what we just watched.
Let's see if Barsby can stack it. It actually doesn't look terrible. No way.
Oh, and you hear James asking to stack it up.
And just short. It's going to be out of bounds. Actually looked like it had plenty of distance.
It really did.
But just showing you how much you have to have perfect depth perception to land it on this island. Thomas looking to make a correction here.
And just a little history of this, the piece of property that we're on here. This is Fort Buenaventura. The mound that we're throwing on is actually a Native American mound. The confluence of the river, the Ogden and the Weber River, is just right down the road. And this was a very sought after piece of land, very historic.
Oh my gosh.
No.
No way.
And we actually see that quite a bit with the driver. It's hard to get the driver to stick. That was a Firebird that stood up and rode out the back.
And bouncing like a happy young gazelle. James Conrad, hair flowing in the wind. The fans love him. One of the most universally loved disc golfers that I've ever met. Plays the game in his own way. Fierce competitor. That is incredible. The fans love it.
He really is one of the most loved disc golfers all time.
How can you
Such
not?
a kind human being. I'm proud to call him my best friend.
From the drop zone.
Look at this.
Just long for Gregg.
Look how high he gets it. He's so in sync with his body weight on those long high putts.
Let's see if Dallin has a correction. Throwing a little bit more of a spin putt on this one.
Both of those looked great.
It's going to be a 4 for Dallin.
So James goes birdie, 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 ace.
He's 5 down through 4 and 8.
He's 2 back of the lead, Brian.
And there is the deciding hole right here. James takes an ace while Barsby takes the bogey. It's a 3-stroke swing. Thomas gets another birdie. He's chipping away. Couple holes left.
17, we're on a dock throwing over this pond. It's 330 to clear the water, but we're looking more toward this landing zone at 380 to 400 feet. And then we have a very technical fairway. The shot here is a really late turning driver. You can see a downed log right there. That marks the furthest left end of the gap.
And James is going inside gap with the photon. No.
No! Can't believe it. The heartbreaker off the tree. This don't really fly backwards often like that unless you just square it up.
Yeah, exactly. The spin of the disc just continues its flight, but just the momentum gets redirected. Here's Thomas. Gets the turn on it, but I don't know if that's too much turn. Puts it in play. I don't know what he has there for a birdie look, but he's up there in the fairway. Barsby's going to go forehand, and I'm guessing he's going to go for the far gap.
I think so.
You want to essentially get a low, fast skip right in front of that downed log.
It's a big forehand. Every bit of 400 to get anywhere in position to attack. No.
Get up. He might get a skip off the water with how low it is.
Oh, and it stays. Look at him.
And at this point, yeah, you'd rather have the skip off the water. Dallin going backhand as well. Oh, no, and he does not like it. Let's actually do a quick
No, that.
form check on Gregg's sidearm. And
That
Gregg,
little pump he does, Brian, I love that.
he has one of the best technical sidearms potentially of all time. And he has this quick, doesn't take a huge extension whatsoever. He relies on angle and snap to get his disc to fly the angles that he wants. He's learned over time that you don't need a giant motion to have a phenomenal sidearm.
And almost no reach back.
Yeah, there's no extension
Yeah.
whatsoever of that arm. That's just years and years of intuition.
This is a relay here. This is a really tough drop zone. Here's the first gap.
So close.
He was close, Brian. He's going to have a tough look from 50 on that short left side.
And Dallin also going to the drop zone did go out of bounds as well. He didn't like the drive out of his hand. That's a big sidearm.
He really loves that Firebird.
Nice. Good job.
Circle 2. He's going to have to really bend this one around the corner. I think this is a Roadrunner he's flicking. He's going to snap this like a catch disc.
Is he going to all areas? He's going to try and lay this one down. Oh, he's just going for position here.
Yeah, he knows that that's not a birdie look. He knows he just wants to give that third shot an easy position. Ooh. And we don't see that much angle from Thomas normally on his sidearm. His sidearm usually comes out with pretty steep hyzer.
Yeah.
But again, like we've said, he's really growing that skill set. Little floater.
That would have been a huge par from the drop zone.
Got a nice little framed up putt with the flower bed underneath the basket. Gregg for birdie.
I think he just apologized to the flowers.
Good on him.
Is Thomas just laying this up? He is. That
Yeah.
is so obstructed.
It's kind of been the name of the game for him out here. He just hasn't even had a shot to save anything out here. It's just been constant scrambling.
James with almost the exact same lie, and I don't believe this man's laying it up.
James putting with the Nomad.
He might have to lay out onto his stomach on this one. Nose up, a little bit of Annie. How does he miss right, Brian?
my
I can't. I
God.
thought he dropped it in there. Oh, and he's going to follow the ace up with the bogey. That's so frustrating to get that heartbreaker tree back into the water.
And he knows he's still shooting really well. He has another hole to birdie. The ace, gives him a little padding to take a bogey. That's kind of the beauty of it, on top of the ace bounty that was put on the hole. Yep, there's going to be a bogey for James. And we do have one hole left. A challenging hole at that. Gregg's going to take a nice, easy par there. Beautiful second shot with that Roadrunner sidearm. Almost had a look at the birdie.
If I ever did that at home, my mom would off me.
He is talking about the
Thing when I grew up.
flowers.
Flowers. So, to all the moms out there, I apologize about that last part.
Oh,
A true
Gregg,
gentleman.
we love you, man.
Shout outs to the moms out there. Number 18, Nate. 650, water carry, tons of guardian trees, OB left, OB right, 33-foot wide fairway leading up to the Circle 1 island, OB everywhere.
You can't really see it.
This is the ultimate finishing hole. Anything can happen here.
Tough angle for the right-hand backhand player. You need to flip it up and just gently drift. You want to go
Yep.
straight and finish slightly left, but not too left. There's out of bounds there. No, and Thomas crawls across it. And he's going to proceed directly to a drop zone.
This hole reminds me of something we would see at Nokia in Finland. The treacherous out of bounds, the beautiful tee shot, but menacing nonetheless. Kind of a tamer version of 18 at Nokia, one of the best finishing holes in disc golf history.
That's a good comparison.
Ooh, look at this flip
That
up.
just is so
Sit down, though.
pretty. Look at that soft skip, though, Brian. But when he's in prime position in front of all the trees, he's going to have a 380-foot forehand into the green.
James almost falling off the front there. Safe, but birdie does not look good. There's I believe a Mando you have to get around, so you cannot throw over and cut the corner.
He has nothing from there. He's going to have to lay one up just around the Mando.
Dallin has put his to a decent spot. Again, there's a more prime landing zone for the birdie look, but as you can see, James has envy in his hand.
This is one of those holes that you know almost right away whether or not you're going to go for it after you release your drive.
Yeah. And he's just playing catch on this one.
And even this shot right here, again, you can barely see where the out of bounds starts and stops.
Yeah, the feathers that they use to mark it are not a very popping color. So you have to go up there and really look at the hole, and this might be a little too long. Yeah. Too long. And he's going to take it where he went out. Barsby's got driver in his hand.
Let's go, Gregg.
We hear the birds tweeting in the background. Is this a symbol?
This is beautiful.
Come on.
Barsby
No way!
parks it.
That is the ultimate birdie to finish with. Thomas from the drop zone. This is a big save for par. It's a long shot, but it's doable.
Yeah, it's about 375. It's
Come
a
on.
little wide. He needs some help here.
Yes! Thomas sticks it to 20 feet. That's going to be a par putt for him. And James, after the layup, still has work to do. This is going to be a touchy shot. Oh, yeah. What a round for James. Absolutely crushing this course. Sit down. Oh, no. Okay, he is close enough, just on the edge of circle one. Thought he was going to get a little bit more skip than that. He is putting from about 20, 25 feet.
This is the chase card, and we're going to have two players finish over par. The fort is mean.
Dallin finishing with 3 bogeys.
We saw just how mean with Thomas carding 2 double bogeys, Dallin finishing with 3 bogeys. That's not that uncommon, even with the best players in the world.
What a great save for Thomas. Great finish. He really did not have a lot of things go his way. There were a lot of coin tosses he seemed to lose. But he really did the best he could to stay afloat. James with a textbook par.
8 under opening round at Mulligans, followed up by a 7 under here at the fort. James is going to find himself on the lead card for round 3.
And there's Barsby. After apologizing to all the moms out there for the flower incident, he gets his birdie. Karma, folks. Let's do a nice lead card check-in at Jomez. Nate Sexton is having an awesome event right now.
He sure is. He had a little bit of struggles here on the back 9 at the fort, and he is going to fall back to the chase card. He will be on our Gatekeeper media coverage for round 3. Alongside Kevin Jones. Kev dropping in some fire circle 2 putts, but he is also dropping to the chase card.
Couple of +2s from Thomas and Dallin. But Gregg and James going 7 down, 6 down.
And Gregg with the lone bogey on hole 16, but look at Emerson Keith. Emerson shot a 1080 rated round with 5 pars to close out his round. Don't know if it's ever been done before. This is
shaping up to be exactly what we want it to be, folks. Every bit of an entertaining tournament so far. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and we will catch you for round 3 coverage soon.